Dana, right here. Sorry. Whatever. Dana, next week with the EXC show on CBS, are you rooting for them to do a good rating with the expectation that that'll be good for the UFC, or do you think that them doing a good rating would not be good for the UFC?
I don't know the answer to that question, to be honest with you. I don't know what a good rating on CBS would be. What would be considered a good rating on CBS?
Let's just assume they got a 10 rating. Would that be good for the UFC?
I think I've told everybody basically. My thought on the CBS show is they're not the first network. IFL got a network deal first. Then these guys are going out on network television. There's no doubt about it, the best fighters are in the UFC, and Kimbo Slice is not. I said the other day, BJ Penn would probably beat Kimbo Slice. And Sean Shirk and
Dana would beat Bob Sapp.
Everybody else at this table. You know what I mean? So it's not like putting MMA's best foot forward. It's definitely I've said it before too about Kimbo Slice. I give him the props. He's training in mixed martial arts, but this guy was fighting in backyards a while ago, and that's part of the appeal. But that's what we've stayed away from. As we helped build this sport. We talked about, the people that you're seeing up here talking today, what they're like, where they came from. Most of these guys went to college. It's just not what we do.
So you think it would be a bad thing because of
back when we were hurting, when we were bleeding millions of dollars, it would have been pretty easy to put a freak show on and we'll go out and get a shitty TV deal. It would have been pretty easy to do. But we never went that route. We never did. When Frank and Lorenzo and I got together, we knew what the vision was, what we wanted to do with this thing, and where we saw it going, and the type of people that these guys are, the type of athletes that they are, and no matter how much, and that's on Frank and Lorenzo, no matter how much money they were losing, we never went for the freak show. Never.
Can you comment on the affliction?
This guy sells fucking T-shirts for a living. I mean, every morning when I wake up, there's a new show that's going to come out and kick our ass. It's been like that for 8 years. You know what I mean? Over the last 8 years, here comes K1 and Pride and M1 and B1 and D1 and the T-shirt guy and the fat guy that used to promote boxing and all these other guys that are coming out. I've heard it all. I've seen it all. They come and go faster. Every time a new one pops up, they're gone faster than the old ones.
You do have to admit, Tim Sullivan's favorite.
I have to admit what?
It's a good card right there. It's a pretty stacked card.
What is? Yeah, well, let's see how the card does. Let me tell you what, a lot of these companies, every weekend in this country and all over the world, there's mixed martial arts events going on. Every weekend. At the end of the day, what a lot of people don't understand, and this is the battle I have with some fighters right now, is this is a business, and it has to be run like a business or else you'll go away, just like most of these other guys have. It was like the whole IFL model, We're going to have an insurance plan for fighters and all this other stuff. Listen, I want to cure cancer, AIDS, and feed all the starving kids in Africa too, but you have to run a business. A lot of things just don't work that way. Let me tell you what, open a TCBY, okay, and try to get your, an insurance plan for your employees and see how much it costs. Now take 250 Ultimate Fighters and go out and try to put together an insurance plan for them. I can tell you this, no matter what anybody says about us or what they think of us, I can go to bed every night. I know exactly why we got into this business and how we feel about not only, the sport of mixed martial arts, but a lot of the guys who fight in it. We love this sport. We love most of the guys in it. And we're here to do the right thing, no matter what anybody thinks, so it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. I know why we're here, and I know what we're doing. We have a plan for this thing over the next 10 years. We're the ones that are moving, getting all these other states opened up. How do you think that happens? You think that miraculously just happens? We're out there making it happen. There's 3 left: Massachusetts, New York, and Tennessee. Tennessee just got done. We're confident Mass will be done soon, and we're hoping New York will be done by the. Do you think Mark Cuban and all these other guys are out there spending money to get this done? No, we are. We're tracing, we're out there doing it. We're the trailblazers, man. Everybody else is just riding in the wake.
This question's for Dana and Tito, actually. You all have mentioned a couple times that you all may need to talk things out. But have either of you ever given any other thought to maybe going a few rounds in the ring being a better way to settle that than talking it out?
We all know what happened last time that tried to happen.
Yeah.
That's where we are right now because of it.
It's true. You guys are some shit starters in here, man.
Yeah, right.
Question for Sean and for Dana. Sean, the talk is Huerta versus Florian will be taking on the winner. BJ will be taking on the winner. Would you want to take on the person who loses that bout in Minneapolis?
I don't know. Whatever Dana wants to do, it doesn't matter to me. I want to get things rolling again for myself. So, whatever Dana's got in mind, and Joe, I'm game. So.
And Dana, you were MIA for a while. You weren't at the pre-fight presser. You weren't at the weigh-ins. Speculation that you were out of town, perhaps working on a TV deal or something of that nature.
We're working on some big things right now. We're hoping to come out with some big announcements. I don't like talking about stuff till they're done, but yeah, we're working on a lot of good things right now.
Sean,
Over here. Based on how you feel right now, could you fight in Minneapolis?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've got a pretty hard head, and so I feel fine. I feel good.
To?
I wouldn't mind it. Like I said, we'll just take things by ear, and I think that's about 11 weeks away, so we got a little bit of time to figure it out still.
Dana, does Machida's style, does it make it hard for you to put him in a title bout, even though he's beating everybody?
Lyoto is so extremely talented. This guy, you go to throw punches and he's over here, then he's over here. He can wrestle. He can do it all. One of the things I said about him is he just got into the UFC. He's just getting comfortable. Any of the guys that you saw early on in their careers, whether it was Tito or Randy or Matt Hughes or Chuck Liddell, nobody came out the gates and were just extremely exciting. They got comfortable here. They felt like this was their home. And I think once Lyoto starts to get that feeling, and starts to feel like, all right, the UFC is my home. This octagon is mine. This is my house. I think he has the skills to be one of the most exciting fighters you've ever seen. No. When you keep beating guys, you're eventually going to get a title shot. That's inevitable.
We have one last question.
Question for Dana, just talking back about the expansion of the UFC. You've obviously got London in 2 weeks' time. Have you given any more thought to how Europe's progressing as a market for the
progressing
UFC?
Very well. We're actually getting very aggressive over this next year. We're going to the Philippines, Germany, Australia, possibly Dubai. We're working on some pretty cool things right now. All right, we're getting ready to wrap this thing up. Any more questions for me and Tito?
Could you just handicap, you fought both guys, if men were to fight here again, how you would see that fight going?
I really don't know. They both of their striking game is real good, and both of their ground game is real good. So, I guess it just styles make matchups, and depends on who's on that day. I think it'll be a great fight. So I don't know if it's something that's going to happen, but I guess I'd look forward to seeing it.
Good. Thank you guys very much for your support. I appreciate it. Have a good night.